Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down the big ideas that are shaping our world. Today, we're digging into the blueprint for a full-on global energy revolution. This might look like something straight out of science fiction, right? But the crazy part is, the tech to build this exact future, it's already here, and it's sparking a huge transformation in how we power the entire planet. So the big question is, how do we get from where we are today to that? Well, you need a plan. A really clear one. So let's explore the blueprint for this new energy world. All right, let's dive right in. At its very core, the whole design of our energy system is changing. I mean, think about it. We're going from a simple one-way street to a smart, multi-lane superhighway. And you can really see the difference right here. For like 100 years, it's been all about these giant power plants just pushing electricity out in one direction. But the new grid, it's a totally different beast. It's a decentralized, intelligent network where your house, my house, with our solar panels and EVs, we're all active players in the game. And look, this isn't some far-off dream we're talking about. Right now, renewables already make up over 30% of global electricity generation. That number, that is the engine that's driving this entire transformation. Okay, so let's break down the building blocks of this whole revolution. And it all starts with the most fundamental question, right? Where is all this new power actually going to come from? Well, the main building blocks, of course, are advanced renewables. We're talking about solar panels that are now hitting over 22% efficiency, which is just incredible. They're converting way more sunlight into power than ever before. And then you have these next-gen offshore wind turbines. They can hit capacity factors of over 50%. To put that in perspective, that means they're cranking out power more than half the time. That is a massive leap forward. But okay, here's the classic question, right? What happens when the sun's not shining or the wind isn't blowing? Well, a really key and maybe kind of surprising part of the answer is a whole new generation of nuclear power. Now, these aren't the giant, sprawling plants you might be thinking of. These are small modular reactors, or SMRs. The cool thing is, they're designed to be built in a factory, which can slash construction costs by up to 60%. And they provide that constant, super reliable baseload power. The minimum amount of juice we need 24/7. That's absolutely critical for keeping the grid stable, especially when those renewables take a break. Okay, so we're generating all this power, but a lot of it comes and goes with the weather. So that brings us to the next huge piece of the puzzle. We need incredibly smart ways to store all that energy for when we actually need it. And wow, battery tech is just evolving at a breakneck speed. It helps to think of it like you've got different kinds of athletes for different jobs. On one hand, you have LFP batteries. These are your marathon runners, super safe, incredibly durable, perfect for the grid because they can be charged and discharged over 6,000 times. Then you've got your NMC batteries. They're the sprinters, packing the most possible power into the smallest space. That's why they're perfect for electric vehicles. But what if you need to store truly massive amounts of energy? I'm not talking about for a few hours, but for weeks, or even entire seasons. For that, we turn to hydrogen. The idea is simple. You use clean electricity to split water, and boom, you get green hydrogen. It's like creating a giant, clean, long-term energy bank. So the machines that make this happen are called electrolyzers. And there's this really fascinating trade-off going on with the tech. You've got some types that are cheaper and have been around for a while, but then you have this cutting-edge tech, like solid oxide electrolyzers, that are pushing efficiency past an incredible 90%. Okay, so just think about this for a second. How on earth do you control millions of solar panels, batteries, EVs, and power plants all at the same time? The answer is pretty cool, actually. You give the grid a brain. And we call this digital brain a virtual power plant. Now, it's not a real physical building. It's a super sophisticated AI system that basically acts as the air traffic controller for the entire energy network. So here's how this thing actually works. First, it connects thousands of different resources. We're talking everything from your neighbor's solar panels to an entire fleet of electric buses. Then, its AI gets to work, predicting with just stunning accuracy how much energy is going to be produced and how much is going to be needed. And finally, it tells every single piece of the puzzle exactly what to do, orchestrating them all in perfect harmony so they act like one single, massive, super efficient power plant. And this AI brain never stops. It's constantly learning, constantly optimizing, literally second by second, making sure power is flowing exactly where it needs to go in the most efficient way possible. This is what helps slash costs and, maybe most importantly, prevent blackouts. And get this, to test it all safely, we can build a perfect virtual crash test dummy for the entire system. It's called a digital twin. It lets us model this whole complex network in a digital world so we can stress test it, simulate cyber attacks, find weaknesses, all without risking a single real-world electron. Pretty smart, huh? All right, so we've got this incredible, intelligent system, but because it's so vital to, well, everything in our lives, we have to build an impenetrable digital fortress around it. Security is everything. So the first layer of that fortress, it's constant, intelligent monitoring. I want you to think of it like an AI-powered security guard that literally never sleeps, just watching 24/7 for any weird activity that might signal a cyber attack. Then the second layer is all about resilient protection. This is where you bring in the heavy hitters, advanced encryption, and something called a zero-trust architecture. That basically means the system trusts nothing and no one by default. Every single connection, every command has to be verified. No exceptions. So when you put all of that together, the real-time detection, the secure controls, the encryption, the automated responses, what you get is this powerful, multi-layered defense system. It's designed from the ground up to protect what is arguably our most critical piece of infrastructure. So here's the bottom line. The blueprint for our energy future, it exists. All the pieces are on the table. The tech to generate, store, manage, and secure a clean, intelligent energy grid is not science fiction, it's here, today. Which really leaves just one question. How fast can we build it?